So let me ask you, is steps a reflection of societal points that you guys want to touch on?
Yeah, we get this one a lot, and a lot of people are like, yeah, it's been
is this like a that was
social
like
commentary. We were just kind of, I guess we were kind of like the whole idea was that it was really thought it was funny that people count their steps, and we just used to call it walking.
Right. Yeah. Like this was like, to be honest, this was like an old idea. So me and Dan have known each other for a long time, and then we've shot a ton of social media content, just like little series and things together. And I kind of wanted to like dip my toe more in specifically directing. And he's went to film school. He's very, very good. He knows so much more about how to like really make a film. And I come a little bit more from the writing and performing side of it. So when we were coming up with like, hey, let's do this partnership. Let's come up with this. Let's do a thing together. I kept coming back to this idea. I was like, I've had this idea for years of like, honestly, it was really as stupid as everyone's so obsessed with counting their steps. What if you just gave someone 50? It was that simple. And then this was back in like 2017. I figured that two things will happen in the next few years. People will stop being so obsessed with counting their steps, or somebody will do this, what I thought was a very obvious idea. I thought it was just sitting there waiting for someone to take it. So cut to like 6 years later, I'm meeting up with Dan about like an idea that we should really sink our teeth into, and it was so fleshed out at that point. Like I already kind of had the rough beats of it fleshed out, but we like then wrote the script together and really kind of like nailed it. In 6 years, people only became more obsessed with counting their steps, and no one had done the idea. Like a new season of Black Mirror would come out, I would run to it and be like, the steps thing is for sure going to be in this.
I'm like, I'm for sure it's not. And I promise you this is an original idea.
But no, it was never, people are like, oh, but there's a message in it, like, I'm like, sure. Don't be so obsessed with technology, like, don't be so looped into the internet, whatever. But like, also, not really. It's just a funny idea, and it's a fun premise, and it's a fun little story to tell.
I think it's awesome that comedy is such a heavy element here, because a lot of times we skip over comedy as like not one of the major genres that gives truth,
We're aware.
I'm as a comedian myself,
yeah.
I am just happy that this is at the forefront and that it's more light, because you still feel the heavy stuff when everything is done, don't you? You stop laughing and you go, And that kind of did it for me.
Comedy, it's like, especially in a comedy movie, it's like the first act of it or whatever, like you got to pump it full of laughs. But at some point, it's a movie. It's not a stand-up show. It's not like, there needs to be something, there needs to be levels and range to these things. So like we knew from the get-go, like this will be a comedy. This will end with jokes, but we have to root it in some kind of reality, because this would never happen. This is a completely ludicrous idea. But the more real we play the whole thing, the more real the actor is, the more he treats everything like this is all actually happening, and the more of a journey he kind of goes on, the more fun it becomes. But we knew, like, I think it's important to like know what your tone is as a director when you're making something. And I think sometimes like you watch something and you're like, I don't know if he wanted me to be laughing at that or not. So I think you need to know what your tone is going to be, and then like, we just wanted this to be fun. Like people are like, what's the message? What's this? I'm like, none. It's just a good time. Come turn your brain off for 20 minutes and have a party with this very unlikable piece of shit, and watch him go on a bit of a journey,
Well, it's beautifulally done.
Yeah, thank you.
4 days you shot it, I
4
believe?
days, yeah.
That's
4
incredible.
4 tight days.
Four.
Originally, we tried to do it in 3. We're like, this is impossible.
Yeah.
Flight's at 4, I land at 9. I should be in a hot tub with a cocktail by 10, okay? And then you're not gonna hear from me for like 6 weeks. 10,000 steps. Not even 10 a.m. yet.
28,000 steps! If I wasn't going to Costa Rica today, I'd beat my record.
Behind you is a clock with a number on it. Next to it is a timer. The rules are simple. Every 24 hours, you are only permitted to take 50 steps. If you take more than 50 steps, you'll be punished.
Getting off on this?
before Fitbits, people used to just come home after a long day, put their feet up and go, man, I'm tired. I must have walked a lot today.